Join me as your host, Roderick Swift, every Wednesday, Musicians Matters Podcast, live right here at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Positive Power, 21 Christian Media, LLC. Let's go!
Welcome to the Musicians Matters Podcast Live on Demand. If you missed any of our podcasts, you can go to Positive Power Christian Media LLC on the Weekend Channel or Spotify, Google Play, or Spreaker, etc. Or you can go to my website, drummersunitedinternational.com, and tap on Musicians Matters Podcast. On this show tonight, it's exclusive. Reason why I say it's exclusive is because I'm a part of this family. And I'm going to welcome to you the owner of Mo Drumsticks. There's no drumsticks in this world that's not better than Mo Drumsticks. Mr. Thino Cacciolo. How you doing?
I'm good, Roderick. How about yourself?
All right, my brother. I'm hanging in there. Your last name, is it Italian or what?
It's not Irish, that's for sure. Yes, it's Italian.
Yeah, I kind of looked at that. I was like, oh my goodness, wow, I love it. Let's let the world know, or let the community know about yourself.
Well, I was born and raised in Brooklyn, the city housing projects right outside of Coney Island, and it was a very diverse time back then in the mid-'50s, early '60s, and there was a lot of rhythm. There was a lot of music. There is always a pulse in Coney Island, and that's where I really got my first exposure to music. In fact, down right off the boardwalk, I think it was the early '60s. There was mid '60s. They used to have a lot of big bands come on flatbed trucks and perform for free. And believe it or not, I saw Sammy Davis Jr. Performing, and he was dancing, he was singing, but then he got behind a set of drums. And I think I was 8 years old at the time. And when he started playing, I just turned to my mother and I says, wow, I want to do that. And so the very next thing I did was the next school day, I enlisted in the school band, and I got stuck playing the bass drum in a marching band.
Wow.
And the bass drum was bigger than me. But I still carried it down the street, got ribbed a lot from a lot of my friends, but that was my first exposure to music. I am not a schooled musician. I can't read music, but again, it's a part of me. I'm a pocket player, which means that I can, you connect with the bass player or whoever's keeping the rhythm down, the one and the two, and keeping everybody, laying the foundation down so everybody can do their thing. That's how I was brought up. Temptations, Coasters, Drifters, R&B. And I played music just about until my end of my 20s. And that's when and then at 30, I met my wife. There was no money really to have being a club date musician, especially if you're looking to start a family. So I left music in the 90s, early 90s, went into corporate, and was very fortunate to do very, very well. So I left music. I've been playing for 50 some odd years on and off. I left music came back in 2010 just by sitting in with one of my band members that from Brooklyn, Staten Island, actually. And I got bit by the bug. They said, Thino, why don't you come back and play? First thing I did was I went on the internet and I saw the talent that was out there. Tremendous talent that we didn't have computers back in my day. So we didn't know if we wanted to see somebody, we had to go and see them, pay a ticket and go to a club in New York, Brooklyn, Long Island, Coliseum, Madison Square Garden, any of the small clubs. Now you just click a couple of clicks and you're exposed to some fantastic talent. So I said, I got some work to do. So I sat down behind a set of drums and, I'm talking 2010. Well, I'm 67 now. So 2010, you do the math. I couldn't hold on to my sticks. Started doing my rudiments. My hands started cramping up. So if I wasn't going to do something good, I'm not going to do it. So I took a look at the stick, and having gone to a technical high school, Brooklyn Tech High School, I started playing with putting weights on a stick and also identifying the fulcrum of the stick, because I could play, but I just connecting my talent and my being to the set of drums is where the problem lied. The stick used to travel, and if you're a drummer and your hand starts cramping up, the stick grip gets very loose, the stick starts to slip out of your hands and travel up, and now you're squeezing the stick, you're choking the stick, you're cramping up more, and it ain't fun. Right. So I identified the fulcrum, put a mark on it, and if you can keep your thumb at the fulcrum, which is the balance, the most optimum grip location on a stick, that means every time you hit the stick down, you get the most bounce backs per strike.
Yes, sir.
So I put a mark on there, but I needed something to hold my thumb and my index finger. So then I took a wooden filed this, made a file so my thumb would fit in the stick and my index finger. And after a while, I got trained, my thumb felt that, okay, I'm moving out of the fulcrum, get back on there, and I stopped cramping up. Now, this was about 10 years ago, so 2013. I then took a look at the drummers online, and back in my day, we had a kick drum, a snare drum, a mounted tom and a floor tom, a ride cymbal, a hi-hat, and a crash cymbal, and that was it. Today, you've got a bunch more drums, a ton more cymbals, and I was having issues with reaching them with a 16-inch stick. So there are longer sticks, but I don't know if any of you, I don't know, Roderick, if you ever tried to play a longer stick than 16 inches, it's not easy to control. The balance is so much different. Very difficult. Sort of like in golf. The easiest golf club to hit is a pitching wedge because it's short and it's light. The hardest club to hit is a driver because it's long and it's heavier at the end. So then I started to put some weights on the back of the stick. That allowed the stick to basically tilt backwards, and it gave me a little bit more control that I can add on a 1/4 inch and a 1/2 inch. One thing led to another, and now my website shows a weight distribution stick where I internally change the mass weight of the stick by internally drilling into your favorite stick. Let's say you like a 5A, a 5A 16 1/4 inch. You don't want a fatter butt end. You want something that's going to fit in your hand. But if you want more weight, which allows you to brings the mass weight down towards your hand, it allows you to get more inches on the stick, a 1/4 inch, an 1/8 inch, a 1/4 inch, a 1/2 inch. I've got some drummers. There's one drummer in Europe that plays a 17 1/4-inch stick. But
Wow.
I fill up the inside of his stick with about 5 grams of metal bar or metal weights, according to his specification. When you have a well-balanced stick that's built for your physicality, your style of play, how you tilt the snare drum and your cymbals, how high or low you sit on your drum throne, all of these things are taken into consideration before you strike a drum. If you have a stick that's accommodating just for you, your level of play goes up immediately. So it's not practice. It's not shiny drums or shiny cymbals. It's just getting something that we all have overlooked, the drumstick that connects us to our drums, getting a better drumstick than we're used to playing, but not changing the size or the thickness of it or the diameter. Everything is done internally. And I have seven patents on it. And I have a pretty unique and clientele and around the globe, and Roderick is one of them.
Yes, I'm truly honored to be a part of this family. When I first started with Mo Drumsticks, I didn't know nothing about drumsticks. Yes, I was trying to use Vader. I was trying to use Pro Marks. I was trying to use every stick that you can name. And then I stepped up across the Mo Drumsticks, and then all of a sudden, you taught me and you told me what to do to set your own sticks, get your own sticks. And I was like, okay, let me do this, let me do that. Then I was like, what is this with the weights? Then you said you can either have no weights on it, or you can even do with weights. So basically, I said to myself, I'm going to do with the weights in the back. You remember that?
Yes, sir.
And I tried it with the weights in the back, and it was an awesome experience. Instead of weights in the front and weights in the back, I'd rather have my sticks with the weights in the back of the sticks, and it feels good. And when I was at some of my sessions, I even take them to everywhere I go, basically, to the church. The sessions like when I'm meeting with groups, and some drummers are there, and some of these drummers, and then they bass players or singers. Matter of fact, I took them to the session that I play with, and he was basically saying he loves my sticks. He loves how they feel. He loves how the groove is on the stick. They're very light. They're very. You can hold the sticks, and basically my stick is fitted just for me. Now, world or the community, I'm telling you, you need to go to Mo Drumsticks. If there's no sticks in the world, I would put my money or put my word on Mo Drumsticks, because I've been dealing with Mo Drumsticks for quite some time, and there's no drumsticks better than Mo Drumsticks. And I thank you for introducing me with Mo Drumsticks. And there's not anything that I would go to than Mo Drumsticks. Now I know that with Mo Drumsticks that we have weights for the bass drums. Let them know that something about that.
Okay, Robert. Well, it's not really weights. We have a magnetic drum beater and drum pad. Most drum sets these days, if you're doing a service or I don't know, do you mic your kick drum when you play, Roderick?
Yes, I like the kick drum, but the way I like it is it has something to do with the paddle.
I don't think I think. Do you mic? Is your drum set mic'd up? Do you have a microphone in the kick drum, a microphone on the snare when you're performing?
Just in the studio, just in my studio.
Okay, just in the studio. Well, on a lot of functions, a lot of services, they now mic the drums, especially the kick and the snare. If anything, two mics. If they can go ahead and get the tom-tom or an overhead. But if we're talking about the kick drum, since you're miking the kick drum, you can't have a traditional, any sort of vibration because the sound goes back and forth inside the shell of that drum, and it just sounds awful if you're miking it. So you really have to have a dead thud type of a very, very when the sound comes out, it has to stop. It has to be instant. It can't have any reverb, any sort of vibrato. So the way to accomplish that is basically loosening up your batter head on the kick drum so you have a thud sound. So when you have that, again, you want to get a little bit of bounce there. Going to Brooklyn Technical High School, I got to bring back to the high school days and studying engineering. I wanted to get my foot in working again without having to use a double pedal because I have enough energy just for one foot to work the kick drum at my age. I don't have enough energy to have both my feet working the kick drum. So
yes, sir.
To get those triplets, to get those intricate beats, I need my foot to be working just as well as my hands are with my Mo drumsticks. So I started experimenting with magnets, and I placed a very powerful magnet inside of a beater, a regular beater. I embedded it. I put the felt back on top, and then I placed a magnet on the head of my kick drum with a pad. And these magnets are opposing each other. They're not attracting each other. They're opposing. So let's say if you have north and south on a magnet, it's north and north. And you know when you have two magnets that you put, they repel each other. Now, if you have strong magnets, they really repel each other. You can't even touch them. Well, this allows the beater to hit the kick pad, the beater to hit the batter side of the drums of the kick drum, and then come right back. It's not a spring; it's energy being pushed away. It's the purest repulsion that you can get. It's not a spring. It's not a magnet underneath the foot pedal. It's a magnet pushing against the magnet. This increases your foot speed. You can lower the tension on your kick drum pedal, the spring, so it's almost non-existent. I mean, if you push that, there's a couple of videos, in fact, on my website where my kick drum pedal is moving on its own. I didn't touch it. The magnet is moving.
Yes, sir. That's right.
So when you're playing, you can loosen up the drum skin so you have a nice thick thud sound. You can loosen up your spring so you don't have to have much forward pressure pushing down, yet the beater comes right back at you. Triplets, quads, even fives and sixes, it's a whole new experience. And it again, both these concepts, weight distribution and mag beats, they're all new. And as all new ideas go, sometimes they don't catch on right away. But anyone that has tried these just basically says, my goodness, why didn't I think of that? And that's what they tell themselves. And again, I did this strictly for me. And one thing led to another because there's very very, very little profit in drumsticks. There's very, very little profit in all of this. There's a lot of profit in other areas in drum building and cymbals and drums and everything. But the basic tools, very little. I do it because I love the music. It's been very, very good to me, and it helped me be the drummer that I am today. Like I said, I'm 67, Roderick. There's not many things I can do as well as I did when I was young, but I'm happy to say that one of them is I'm a better drummer today than I ever was back when I was younger.
That you are. And I can say you are, you build some sticks better, too, than any other company.
I build them like they're for me. I mean, every time I send a stick out, I touch each stick. And that brings me to another, now that you mentioned that, you know, wood is a living, breathing thing. And the types of wood are determined, the type of wood that you build a stick with is on a cost basis. If you use a sapwood, which is softer, the stick is going to dent. It's not going to hold its form. It's going to warp. If you use a hardwood, it's going to be like an oak tree in a storm. It's going to crack. To get the right sapwood and hardwood combination, there's a certain part of the source that's very limited, and it's a little bit more expensive. A lot of drumstick companies, they don't use the tight grain, very tight grain sapwood, hardwood type of wood, and they break. They don't hold true as far as straightness, and their pitch changes because it's an inferior part of the wood source. So when people say, "Wow, your sticks are too expensive," I can get a pair of sticks for $6, $8, $10. I'm sure you can attest to this, and you can do better than me. But one pair of my sticks can outlast 3 or 4 pairs of other sticks you buy off the shelf because they are quality wood. They're balanced for you. You're hitting them correctly. You're not rim-shotting them and there's wood shattering all over the place. So in essence, my sticks are less expensive than any other stick.
That's true. Mine last at least 5 months. Let's go 5 months. It says
that's outrageous.
I'm serious. And I'm playing every Sunday. I'm playing a rehearsal on Saturday. I'm playing a rehearsal on Monday. I'm playing like a session on Wednesday. So I'm playing almost every day of the week. So they last. When I'm talking about sticks that last and they don't break during the session, that's a remarkable stick. And I will not trade more drumsticks for anything. So
I appreciate that.
No, I'm not just talking. It's the truth. I led a lot of people to more drumstick sticks, and they liking them. So I'm thankful for that. And if you didn't have anything else to do, what would you do besides that?
Well, you know, I don't think there's some very fine cymbal makers out there. There's some great drum builders, independent drum builders that are building some fantastic drums. Back in my day, there was just the big ones, Ludwig, Pearl, Gresh, Rogers. But now there's so many artists out there and craftsmen that are building such fabulous. I don't think I can improve on anything else other than the one item or the two items that nobody seemed to be not paying attention to. But let's face it, there's no money. The amount of time that I put into a drumstick, no major company is going to take on and sell my sticks. I'm not going to license them. It's too expensive. They're in for money, and they should be. They're a business. I'm a business too, but I'm also retired, and I'm a drummer, and I do it out of the passion and love for the music and for also bringing the new breed of drummer, the younger drummer, to a level that they can continue to play, hopefully as long as I've been playing. So I don't think I can improve on anything. The drumstick was something that I definitely saw was the only way I can continue to play when I started back in 2010. Then I started Mo Drumsticks at 2013. But I don't think I can do anything more than it's already out there as far as to make a drummer a better drummer just by using my equipment. I don't think there's anything else. If I think of something, you'll be the first to know, Roderick.
Let them know about your let them know about your store on the website.
Oh, it's www.modrumsticks.com, and then of course we're on Facebook. I'm not a big computer guy. In fact, I remember driving down the highway in Texas in the early '90s, and I saw a billboard saying .com is coming, and I couldn't figure that out for a couple of months. I didn't know what a .com was, and even though I had a large company in Texas and I had a big computer room with T1 servers, and it looked like NASA. A space shuttle going up. That's how big these computers are. I think there's more technology in the phone that I'm talking on right now than was in my entire 20 by 20 clean room, as they called it. I'm not a big computer guy, but so you're not going to see a lot of promotions. You're just going to see a website where you can order your drums and also a phone number that you can call me directly. Most of my drummers, they call me, even overseas, they call me direct, and they say, listen, I have a setup kit. I'm determining my weights. Can you help me out? And we do a private fitting, just like if you had a custom suit made, just like if you had a custom bowling ball done, if you're a hockey player, a custom hockey stick, a golfer. We go over the phone, sometimes FaceTime, so they can actually see the difference. I can see where they're having a question, and to get that fit. Sometimes it takes a couple of fittings, just like a suit. So they'll order a pair or two, and they'll say, listen, I would like a little bit more weight in the back. Or I don't want my name on there, I want my grandmother's name on the stick.
Right.
So I have one drummer that honors his grandmother every time he places an order, which I think is just fabulous. I have the name of my mother on my sticks, Rosalie. I call her Rosie. So every time I sit behind the drums, because she used to support me when I used to play, always coming to my gigs, even though she was so out of place at some of the clubs that I used to play at, she still came down. So I do that type, but I can't envision me ever improving this. I think everything that there is out there, but I shouldn't really say that because there's always something new.
It's true.
But I'm satisfied with my sticks and my beaters, and I'm also always looking for new clients, new artists, and also always looking forward to them putting their testimonies up saying this changes the way I played. At first I felt so different, but now I can't go back to off-the-shelf sticks. I will say this: if you're playing off-the-shelf sticks, you all know about pitch and pair. Each pair of sticks from all drumstick manufacturers are pitched and paired, which means they're weighed, and if you get two sticks, they should be within 2 grams of each other, the same weight.
That's right.
And they're usually in a sleeve, in a cardboard sleeve or some sort of packaging. The first thing you should do when you get your pair of sticks is get a Sharpie, and at the butt end, color that pair of sticks, let's say black. Okay, so color the whole butt end of the stick black, a big black dot at the end. Reason being is you can buy 4 pairs of sticks in the store, all 5A, all from the same manufacturer, the exact same stick, and then each one of those pairs are pitched and paired, but they're not all 4 pitched and paired. So when you pull a pair out of a sleeve, you start to play, it feels good, and then what do? You put it in your drumstick bag. You just polluted your drumstick bag. It's almost like orphans in an orphanage. There's all different kind of sticks in there. They're all different weights. If you don't pick up the same 2 pair of sticks, you might pick up a 5A 16-inch ball tip and another 5A 16-inch ball tip. One might weigh 45 grams and the other one might weigh 56 grams because they are from different parents. They're different wood parents. And then you start playing, you're going, I don't have it today. I don't have my groove today. No, it's not you. It's the sticks that don't have it. So I recommend that you just color code, which we do for you, by the way. And also Roderick can attest to this. If Roderick orders 12 pairs of sticks, I try to pitch and pair the entire order within 2 grams of each other, which means he's going to get 12 pairs of sticks, and they're all going to have 24 black dots on the butt end. So I try to marry everyone. Now, it's kind of impossible sometimes because of my stock and my inventory. So if I do have a 2 gram or 1 gram variance, he might get a pair of sticks or 2 or 3 pairs that have a red dot on it. That means that when he goes into his bag and he grabs a pair, he's just going to pick up 2 red dots. He knows that they are perfectly matched, and he's going to perform to the best of his ability, and his sticks are going to perform just as he expects them to. So I would recommend everybody, whether you get Mo drumsticks or not, just mark those sticks before you take them out of that sleeve, so at least you have a pitched and pair when you play, because everybody wants to hear a good drummer, right, Roderick?
That's right. So, world, community, all I say to you is Mo drumsticks. And Mr. Thino, I would just like to thank you for just coming on to the show. You know this always. You was always welcome to Musicians Matters because I'm a part of Mo Drumsticks. Now, if you want to come and look at Mo Drumsticks, you can look at modrumsticks.com under Artist Series. You'll see my name under Artist Series, and you'll see my size of sticks. And if you want to order my size of sticks or whatever, you can order it from Mo Drumsticks Artist Series.
Yes,
I would like to thank Jerry Royce Live, Positive Power, Christian Media LLC for being there as a true brother and a true friend in Christ. I would like to thank Tyler Gaston, the gas station recording studio, for all of my engineering work on all of my music for being done on this show and all of the drum clinics. And it says, now faith is a substance for things hoped for and the evidence for things not seen. Hebrews 11:1. Be blessed.
Join me as your host, Roderick Swift, every Wednesday, Musicians Matters Podcast, live right here at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Positive Power, 21 Christian Media LLC. Let's go!
You're listening to Jerry Roycelive-worldwide podcast.